best way to gain muscle, right? I know muscle is important. Muscle is really important for your metabolism, for blood sugar regulation, for your immune response, all of these things, for energy, all of this. So what's the best way? How do I do it? How do I do it the fastest? How do I do it the most? Especially for the female body, right? We're gonna get into it. I am Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert, author of the books The Female Fat Solution and The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon. I'm also host of the podcast, The Female Health Solution. You can subscribe to that as well as subscribe to me here on YouTube. That way you stay updated on all the information I have coming out. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about muscle building. Let's talk about how to really get and keep muscle. Now, most of the time people will talk about weightlifting and everything. Sure. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to write down activity. Lifting weights. Yes. Lift heavy. I mean, you can get there, but even doing body weight activity is helpful. Even doing air squats, even if you're holding onto your counter in your kitchen, even if you're doing push-ups on the wall, that is something that's going to start building muscle. The more active you are, the better. But that's the first thing to make sure you have in your routine. Now, there's no magic to it, right? But the key is do activity, push your body, push that tissue, and then give it enough time to recover. You have to have that recovery time. And then the next piece here is protein. This is the piece that most women miss out on. They're so worried about cutting calories. They're so worried about, oh my gosh, I can't eat this half a cookie that my kid made for me because the sugar and the calories and I'm not gonna lose weight. No, no. Protein, did you get protein in today? Your body can actually build more muscle by just getting in more protein. Isn't that wild? Like, you can build more muscle by just consuming more protein. And we talk about protein pacing when we work together. So if you want to know what that looks like when we work one-on-one together, where we do hormone testing, GI mapping, genetic testing, making sure we are deep diving into everything that your system would need to move forward the best, go below this video, click that link and learn more. You can also leave a question or a comment. If you're not comfortable commenting, don't hesitate to reach out to me privately. I hear from women all over the world every single day because these things can be so frustrating to find the solution to. So when you really get that protein in, it makes all the difference. We help set that for you, what your protein numbers are for the day, how to do it, how to get there. How do you push those protein numbers? That's what we have you do. That's what we help with. Absolutely. So these are the fantastic things that you can just get started with right now today. Get more protein in and start being more active. That's going to allow you to build more lean muscle. If you run into problems, if you're not recovering well, okay, then we need to layer in more recovery time. Maybe look at something, a product to add in to give you, assistance with that. But most people will start with, I'm going to take this workout thing, this workout drink, this fancy thing that's going to help me build muscle. And it can be helpful for sure, but it's not the end all be all. Like, don't be misled by the fact that this magic thing, this magic product that you're going to add in is going to do it. You have to be getting in that base layer of protein first. That's the key. That's the secret. You get that protein in first, then you can add in like a creatine or branched chain amino acids, things like that. Game changer. Absolute game changer. This also is really important in how your body recovers and how you feel on a day-to-day basis. There are so many women I work with that have aches and pains and all these things in their body. And they're so stuck and frustrated with how they feel that they can't keep going and they can't continue with the workout program. Protein. There's a gal that I worked with, this was years ago. Her story sticks out in my mind again and again because she was a very active person. She did cleaning of corporate offices. She had her own business and she had contracted with 3 or 4 different buildings. They were smallerish buildings, right? Not a huge skyscraper, but they were her buildings. And she had a couple other gals that worked for her. And that not full-time, but part-time. So she was the only full-time employee for herself, right? But she would have to get up really early in the morning, start cleaning. And then between the days that she had, and the different buildings, she would rotate. you know, the days that she would come through and clean the offices. And she would talk about how when she would get up in the morning, she would be so exhausted and physically sore that it hurt to get going. And she hated getting out of bed because of just the pain that she had. Once she got going, she'd get moving and everything else. And then, okay, here we go. And she could push through and get on with her day, be completely exhausted by the end of the day, though, to go to sleep, to crash, go to sleep, and wake up and be so sore again. When we started adding in protein for her, the first thing that she noticed was that she had more energy at the end of the day. I mean, she was still tired, don't get me wrong, but she didn't crash and fall asleep on the couch. And then day after day, especially through that first couple of weeks, she noticed that in the morning when she would wake up, she had less pain. She could get out of bed a little bit easier, a little bit easier, a little bit easier. All to a couple weeks later, she was like, yeah, I'm just a little sore in the morning. It's not a big deal. I don't hate waking up anymore. Game changer, protein, right? And then she noticed that it was easier for her to get through her day because she really started that activity she was doing. She was building more muscle. It made everything easier for her. She didn't struggle to pull the vacuum up and down the stairs anymore in one of the buildings. It's all this stuff. We're building more muscle provides you with so many health benefits that why wouldn't you just add more protein and make sure you're doing some activity to get started. From there, looking at your hormone report, your GI map, so you're absorbing that protein, and then anything genetically that we would tweak specifically for you to make sure that you are capitalizing on this the absolute best. So that's what I got for you guys today. Please let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you later.